What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and you guys know it's Thursday afternoon. It don't matter if the game's on. It don't matter if we're in a wildfire. It don't matter. Southside boys are here, and we're here to talk about the last week in the White Sox baseball, last week in baseball in general, everything been going on last week with the Tigers. Right now with the Yankees, we got the Marlins and the Dodgers coming up, so we got a lot to talk about. I just said it before we got going. Probably the most positive episode we've had today or this year since the first two episodes. It just hasn't been good, but this week it has been. So let's get the guys in here. Let's not waste no time and let's get them in here. Sox and Yankees are playing right now, 6-5, top of the seventh. But let's get them. We got Deech and we got Justin. What's up, guys? How are we doing today?
What's going on, Tino? Thanks for having us.
How you doing, Deech?
I'm good. And before we start, I'd just like to point out, keep shit-talking me going to games, because ever since I started shit-talking, I have now gone to 5 straight wins.
Woohoo!
So
whatever works, right?
I'm now above 500.
You going this weekend at all?
Yeah, I'm going Saturday.
Oh,
which I've had luck with Kopech starts other than the home openers, so.
Oh, I think that was because I was there too. I think I'm the problem. I only went to one game this year, and that was the one game. I was like, I don't know if I want to go anymore. But, guys, this week it's been good. They swept the Tigers. They won on Tuesday. Sebi Zavala game, 2 home runs. Today, right now, it's 6-5 in the top of the seventh with 0-2 the count. Andrew Vaughn coming up, and Justin is a little ahead of us, so if something exciting happens, we'll obviously know by his reaction. But
Vaughn takes strike 3 right down the middle.
Hey. Gotta love it. Well, you're like a play right before me. But, I mean, the last week it's been good. They've now 3.5 games out. The fact that the White Sox, and that we're even talking about this now, that they're 3.5 games out of first place. Twins lost. They're now doing the stretch between the Rays and the Blue Jays that the Sox did in April. They're not doing good. Randy Arozarena came up last night and he said, screw you, Twins. It don't matter if you got the lead in the 10th. So the division is up for grabs. A week ago, we were talking about selling the team, Giolito, everybody's this and that. And I say it, all it takes is a week to do good and have a good stretch, and you're right back in it. And as bad as the White Sox have played, they just need to keep going. So the Tigers series, it was good. They swept them. It was exactly what they needed to do after losing 3 out of 4. I said it on the show last week. I said, watch. They're going to do exactly what they did versus the Royals. They're going to loot. They lost 3 out of 4. They swept them at home. Same thing that they did. And it's 3 big wins because the Twins didn't play that good. So, Justin, after that Detroit series, how are you feeling coming into the Yankee series and everything?
Well, it's kind of hard to say after the Detroit series because I didn't really think they were going to win in Yankee Stadium. So after the Detroit series, you're obviously just happy that – I actually sat and watched all of the games this weekend, so it was just a pleasure to actually watch 3 wins in a row. So it was more that, okay, I had a significantly better time this weekend because they won. But I wasn't like, oh, they're turning it around. Well, yeah, now I'm kind of starting to feel like, okay, if they can steal this series in New York and then manage to beat the Marlins a couple times this weekend, I mean, they don't have to be a great team to win this division. So they're finally starting to look like a team capable of winning the worst division in baseball, which is the smallest compliment I can pay them, but it's true nonetheless.
And that's the case. The biggest thing about it is the division is trash, and it may go down very well as one of the worst divisions in all of MLB history. Like, I don't think we've seen the NFL least be bad between the Giants, Phillies, and stuff. I've never seen it in baseball. And the fact that a team under 500 could possibly have a home playoff series because they win the division is absolutely crazy. So
that's going to upset a lot of people.
Yeah. We didn't ask to be here. We just got put here. We didn't ask to be in the Central. We didn't move. If the New York wants to be in our division or they keep making comparisons with the Yankees division, then move them to make them the New York Central team or whatever the hell you want to do. But again, I'm just happy that we're still alive. And at least, I don't know about you guys, but food tastes better. Days are a little bit brighter when the Sox win. So it's been really good, especially, like I said, it just has not been very good. But Deech, you said it, and I think you actually said it right when we started the show. you're going on a winning streak here. So you were at a few of the games for the Tigers. How were you feeling watching the team? Did you feel something different? Like just everything. How'd you feel about the Tiger series?
They played very fundamental baseball. I mean, it was a sound series. I felt like the bats weren't completely there for the series. I mean, it wasn't like they were scoring crazy runs every night, but good teams find a way to win baseball games regardless of something not being there that day. So, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. This Yankee series can build quite a bit of momentum if you can take 2 out of 3 minimally. But obviously, depending on the play out of the last couple of innings of this game, I mean, you could be looking at a sweep potentially in New York, which would be huge.
Yeah. And last time the Sox did play a doubleheader, we obviously know what happened in New York. So hopefully the same type of situation happens. So I feel like a lot of good things happened. There really wasn't like anything crazy. I mean, there really wasn't anything that like, I will say this though. When Jake Berger hit that ball on Sunday, they hit the walk-off grand slam. I thought it was a double, and I had the ball on mute because I do my live streams. Obviously, everybody knows, and I was on a live stream during, and I couldn't have it on because I get copyright. And I literally saw it, and I was like, "Is it a double?" And next thing I know, he's running around. I was just like, "That's that." And it's crazy. I think Justin, was it you that said it, that maybe we got to think about possibly with Yohan Berger becoming and being the way he is right now is incredible to see, especially after he tore both Achilles twice and everything. Yohan might be a little bit expendable. So it should be interesting to see what happens. Berger had another home run today and everything like that. So Detroit series was good. They got 3 wins. They needed what they needed to do. And they had an off day on Monday. It was good. And then they came to New York. And obviously, if you guys can see behind us, it's a little yellow or a little orange. Well, this was the site in New York yesterday as the White Sox, as I said, the Sebi Zavala game. I said it again. Sebi Zavala game. 2 home runs. The White Sox won Tuesday. And then yesterday we were supposed to play, but it was orange outside and it was not going to happen. No way in heck they were going to play this game. I saw it. Deej said, he's like, they're going to get this. I'm like, bro, you're crazy. I'm like, there's no way. So we're now here today on Thursday. Doubleheader. We're in the bottom of the 7th. We got 2 games with the Yankees. And I think we all said last week, I feel like Deej was the most positive about this series, but it's crazy how fast like a thing can change with a little bit of a winning streak and a little bit of what we can see from them. So what are your guys' predictions? I will say, I guess, what are you guys' predictions for the end of this game? What do you guys think will go down? And then what do you think happens tonight? Because it's going to be a straight doubleheader. We're going to take like a 30-minute break, and then they're going to come back. So, Deej, I'll start with you. I know you kind of said it already, but, I mean, what do you think?
Who's pitching for the Sox right now?
Joe Kelly.
Kelly in the game.
Okay.
Do you not have a TV by you?
No. And
gotcha. Okay.
I mean, so I don't actually have the game on right now.
Okay. No problem. I just didn't know.
Into Lance Lynn did not really do his job yet again today. I mean, he was okay, but you got to give us more than 5 innings in a day where you're playing a doubleheader. So I think the bullpens are going to play an effect, or how the bullpens are used this game will have an effect on the second game. So the Sox, I'm thinking they're going to pull this one off, but you got to be careful here.
Well, that's pretty much what I was going to say is if they should play to win this game, which means that Kelly and then whoever else they use, I don't know if it's going to be Liam. Kelly, Graveman, and whoever else they use won't be available tonight, but you have to play to win this one. So you're just going to need a better start from Clevenger than what Lynn gave you today in game 1, obviously.
And I think almost save Lopez only because him and Crochet can go multiple
innings. Yeah.
So
that's a good call.
Yeah, that is very true. And like I said, and you said, you got to play to win this game. We win this game, we take at least 2 out of 3 versus the Yankees. Big series win, a series win that people may not have thought. So we just need to stay on the gas pedal, stomp on their head. And Carlos Stanton is up right now, and he's stressing me out. So I may be going back and forth a little bit. But while we do that, let's get ready for the upcoming week. Deej said he's going to a few games, and we're playing a team that I did not realize until I looked at the record last night, they're actually doing pretty good. It's the Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins, they obviously went out. I'm not excited to see Luis Arise this weekend. I thought we got rid of him, but I guess it's better to see him 3 times than 13 times a year. So I guess that's good. But it's gonna be a fun series because I'm happy with this new schedule. This may be a team we may not face this year. And I don't know about you guys, but I love seeing Sox face other teams that, maybe we don't see play. And the Marlins, for a while there, I don't know. I like the Marlins, especially when they knocked out the Cubs in the wild card series. That was kind of a good time. Anyway, on Friday, tomorrow night, can't even believe it's Friday again. We got Dylan Cease, 3-3, taking on Uri Perez, 3-1. On Saturday, we got Sandy Alcantara. Is right? That's how you say it? Yeah. Or is it Alcantara? Is that how you say it?
Alcantara.
Oh, Alcantara. Okay. Saying it wrong. And then we got Michael Kopech, 3-5. And then on Sunday, we got Braxton Garrett taking on Mr. Lucas Giolito. So, Justin, I'll start with you. How are you feeling going into this Marlins series? What do you think that we could do? And it obviously, again, has a lot to do with what we do in these 2 games. So, how are you feeling going in this weekend?
Yeah, I guess it has a lot to do with what ends up happening tonight, considering we still have to finish this one and get to another one. I mean, you're going to be traveling back after playing 2 in 1 day. And so, it can go a lot of different ways, which is why I guess it's kind of hard to say because knock on wood, say they win both these fucking games today, they hold on in this one and win tonight, then you feel a lot better about them having to, travel tonight and play again tomorrow after playing a doubleheader today because they have the momentum. But you have the flip side where if they manage to lose this game and then lose tonight, they're going to be tired and probably lethargic tomorrow and back to their same old habits. So, I guess I'll say I like to think they find a way to take 2 out of 3. The Marlins are just good enough where you still have to beat them in a series at home. That still should be the expectation.
Yes.
To get back to where they need to be.
Yes, it definitely needs to be the expectation.
Yeah, they're a solid team, but they're not world beaters. Like you said, you mentioned like Minnesota's going into their part of the schedule with Toronto and Tampa Bay. Like those teams are clearly a cut above
all of
who the Sox need to beat to get to the postseason. But they're going to need to find a way to take 2 out of 3. If they do it, if they take care of business tonight and at least win this one, you feel all right about that happening.
Yeah. And that's the big thing I feel like, yes, the Marlins are doing good and everything like that. But as you said, they're not world beaters. They got Luis Araz, they got Jazz. That's going to be kind of cool. I like to see Jazz. He is on the cover of the show and everything. But it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. But taking 2 out of 3 is very important in the series because they need to keep the momentum, keep winning series. The fact that depending on what happens, they could either be 2.5 games out. They could be like, I think it's like 3.5. Like there's so many different outcomes from today that could happen. But the fact that we could literally be sitting here 2.5 games out of first place, in 4th place, 3rd place, I think we might jump up a spot because I see the Guardians and the Tigers and the Sox are all like bundled up with 27, 28 wins. So it should be very interesting. And it's crazy to think about, like I said, as we talked about last week, I think we were 7.5 out last week at this time, or 5.5. It was one of the 2. So it's crazy to think just how a good week can really happen. So Deech, how do you feel? And what games are you going to this weekend?
So I'm going on Saturday. So I'm seeing Kopech, I think for the 3rd or 4th time this year.
Okay.
Other than the home opener, he's won every other start I've been to of his. So that'll be good. And then just speaking of the standings, Minnesota has shown their true colors here. They had a significant lead and have just let that dwindle away. I just don't think that team is capable of winning this division unless it's handed to them. So, you start to feel better just watching these other teams start to crumble after the Sox pretty much like handed them the division on a tee to start the entire first month of the season. So there's a little bit of, I guess, excitement towards the fact of we always talked, are the Twins going to sit here and actually like allow the Sox to get back into it? And that seems to be the direction that this is going. So in regards to Miami, I think, like Justin said, you have to take 2 out of 3. They have young pitchers, and especially with Yuri Perez, you need to get on top of him quickly because you don't want him getting through a few innings and having all this confidence and then just completely destroying our lineup, striking out everyone. So that's the Sox seem to hit better overall throughout the entire game when they get to a pitcher early and kind of assert themselves as the dominant factor in the game, I guess. So,
well, do me a favor. Give me Jazz's autograph. Help me out. Add to my collection, Deech. You gotta help me out, bro. You gotta do something at these White Sox games. Help me, boy. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, it should be really interesting to see what happens with these guys. I'm excited to see this series happen, and taking 2 out of 3 is exactly what needs to happen, and exactly, with you said about the Twins and everything, like the fact that like we're watching like what happened to the White Sox in April is like what happened last night to the Twins. The Sox did the exact same thing. I remember one of the games versus the Rays. I think it was Friday night. They had the lead top of the inning. Randy came up, hit a walk-off, and it was over. So it's like they're feeling the same type of pain, and it's like it's kind of evening out now, where it's like they're facing that because the Guardians are going to have to do the same eventually. They're going to have to go and face these teams, and they're, and see, obviously the Sox would have at least been nice to take at least one game versus them, but I mean, it is what it is. And again, this division very well may not be over until like the last week of the season, because that's just how bad it is. So taking 2 out of 3, Marlins, I agree that's what they need to do. And let's just hope they keep the momentum, because after they go and face the Marlins, they got to go face the juggernauts of the NL. I guess they're not the juggernauts because the Braves are actually, or not the Braves, the Diamondbacks are ahead of them. Who saw the Diamondbacks doing this year? Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Anybody see the Diamondbacks doing this year? Because they're insanely good, especially that rookie. So they go, and the White Sox go and face the Dodgers. And on Tuesday, I'm not excited for this matchup. It's Mr. Double L, Lance Lynn, useless, taking on Tony Gosselin, as Tony is 3-1. Did I say that right? I'm so bad.
Oh God, they're on ESPN Wednesday night. Oh no, they literally have the schedule up on the TV right now.
And as he says that Wednesday night ESPN, it's Michael Clevinger taking on Clayton Kershaw. Clayton is 7-4, and Michael is 3-3. And then on Thursday, we got another game at 9. Remember, all these games are in LA, so they're on later here in Chicago. That's going to be fun. I'm not excited for that. Oh, well, next Thursday, the game's on at 9 o'clock. It looks like we'll be previewing next Thursday's game here on the episode next week. But right now, it is Dylan Cease taking on Michael Grove. He's 0-2 with an 8.14 ERA. So after seeing the pitching matchups, I'm going to say my predictions first. I feel like obviously best case scenario would be 2 out of 3, but I feel like I don't know. I think that they could do it, but I'm going to say that they only take 1 out of 3 versus the Dodgers.
Yeah, so, that last one sounds like the only one that they have a chance to win, because Lance, they're not going to win with Lance going, and they're not going to beat Kershaw.
Bro,
so that eliminates.
You could pitch better than Lance at this point. Like, it's awful. Like, he's just so, like, it just doesn't understand. Like, so
safe. Oh,
let me ask you this. So with Lance Lynch, much, I really don't see them DFAing him in the near future. Like, it could happen before the deadline, but I mean, there would need to be another move that takes. You can't just be like Jesse Schultz, you're now our number 5 starter. I'm just sorry, that's not. A team that's looking to win a division doesn't just kind of like half-ass something. Well, we do that every year. Rick Hahn half-asses his deadline.
Everything.
And do you almost start with an opener prior to Lynn pitching to try and see if that maybe?
I
don't
just because he's been a starter his entire career.
But didn't he come out of the bullpen for the Cardinals? I remember watching postseason games. I know it's the postseason, obviously. But
yeah, when he was really young, I guess that's probably accurate.
Okay. See, because I always remember, but I just remember when we signed him, they were like, this is Tony's guy. He had him on the Cardinals, blah, 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 blah. And
oh, no.
They'll make that trade. It more so was the extension that they gave Lynn, where they, I think, overestimated how his longevity was going to hold up.
Yeah. So that should be very interesting to see exactly what happens. So Deech, I will start with you. What do you think that we do in the Dodgers series? Are you? Oh wait, no. I was going to ask you if they're going. You're going, but they're in LA. So never mind.
Probably one of three. The pitching matchups just line up better for the Dodgers there. That's really all you can say there.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was the first time I looked at them. I'm like, shit.
The Sox bats would need to be very on going into that series for me to think they're going to take 2 of 3 or sweep that team. So,
yeah.
Hey, just so you guys know, Tim Anderson just grounded out. If you haven't seen that 400 fucking times this season.
He said 400 fucking times. Bro, I guess that's the thing. Like, I guess I want to ask you guys, do you think Tim should be moved down? Do you think
Yes.
like what do you guys think that they do? Because for some reason, Tim obviously is just not doing what like we expect him to do at the top. He's had a few good I don't know.
No, he hasn't. I mean, there's not even, you don't even have to like mince words here. Like, he's not a leadoff hitter anymore. The no home run thing between him and Benintendi, that's a whole different issue. I still think they can hit Benintendi leadoff just because Robert,
at least he's getting on base.
Yes, and he works at bats, and like Robert has proven that like he's more comfortable hitting further down in the order. He doesn't necessarily like hitting leadoff. Like you could lead off like a Jake Berger, like Joe Madden used to bat Kyle Schwarber lead off, and they still sometimes do in Philly. You could do something like that, but I don't have a problem with keeping AP up at that part of the order. But Tim's got to be batting like 7th or 8th. There's just no, when you don't work at bats, you don't move guys over because you don't hit the ball in the air. You're not doing anything to get to the run producers in the lineup, the few that they actually have. He's just got no business batting up there right now, and it's frustrating to think that he's just sharpied in at that leadoff spot every day when that's not doing anything to help the team right now. And everything this offseason with this new coaching staff and everything, like all preaching accountability and like the best guys are going to make the team, the best guys are going to play, we're going to put ourselves in the best position to win every single day. They're not doing that, batting Tim leadoff. And I would be willing to bet that 90% of Sox fans agree entirely with that sentiment, that it's just, there's no reason to do it right now.
Yeah. And I feel like that's and it couldn't be bad to just try it for a few games. See what happens if you put Benintendi or Berger, and have him just bat like 5th or 6th. I mean, we saw when it happened when we put Robert down a little bit in the lineup, he started hitting the ball again.
Yep.
And so, and
I'd rather even have Yoan bat lead off than.
Oh God.
Justin, I love you, bro. The stuff you say on Twitter sometimes, bro, and some of the things, I love it, bro.
I appreciate that.
I love it. It's just so great, bro. Like the thing about the Braves, you're like, man, you see what happens when you have a team that like does the right thing.
Yeah. Like some organizations just make it look so easy.
Bro, and it's like teams make it look so easy. Like the fact that they Sox make it look so hard to get a base hit with guys on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, or guy on 3rd with 1. It's just like why it is. And then some other team makes it look so simple. So, Deech, how do you feel about
for the 8th, by the way?
Huh?
It's a Raylo for the 8th, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, my TV is literally like 2 minutes behind yours. So as something happens, it's the next pitch.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I asked you when we were talking about it to see if you were watching or not, because even when I do my watch alongs with my friends and stuff for the wrestling, never in sync. It's so frustrating. It's like, why can't we just be in sync?
It's tough.
Huh?
I said it's tough. Yeah, it's tough with the stream, and like you just have so many people are all different spots.
I know. That's why I don't go on Twitter during the games, because I'm like, I'm gonna go on Twitter and somebody already knows exactly what happened with everything. So I'm just like, yeah. But I mean, it should be very, very like I think I've said it a million times today, but I feel better, I guess. Summer's starting, it's nicer outside. Sox are playing a little better. It's not as dim as it was. I mean, again, thank God April's over. May was better. June has been doing good so far. We still got a few more months. fantasy football talk's been starting a little bit lately. I'm just like not even ready for it. I'm just like Dalvin Cook got released today.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about all the rest of the stuff going on in the MLB though? Like the Diamondbacks, the Red Sox, the everything going on. Do you guys feel that like there's anything like crazy going on that you guys think that like could continue going on? Do you guys think the Diamondbacks can continue to be as good as they've been? The Marlins? I'm happy we're better than the Cubs.
I am too.
Yeah.
I like Texas. I like that the team that spent money the last few off seasons winning games.
We gotta face them soon. I'm not excited.
There was a while where there were so many bad contracts handed out in baseball that teams started pointing to that, like the Pujols deal, like the Josh Hamilton deal, the Anthony Rendon deal. The Angels have given out a lot of these, obviously, and you get owners who will remain nameless who point to those deals and say, well, no, that's why I don't do that. But it's good to see Texas winning games after giving out those contracts to Seager and Marcus Semien and signing like John Gray, Nathan Eovaldi, like disrespected starters who are better than what they were given credit for. Really just a bunch of shit the Sox never do. And so in spite, I'm enjoying seeing Texas win games. That's one of the things outside of the Sox that I'm kind of dialed into.
It's just one of those things to watch teams do good, to see like what it takes, and what, like when I watch like the Rangers and when I watch other teams and I'm like, damn, like this, they just make it look so easy. Or like the Rangers, they scored 10 plus runs in like 6 out of 10 games or whatever crazy stat that was. I was just, every time I looked, I'm like, they're scoring double digits. And obviously they're playing the A's in a couple of those games and stuff. But hey, speaking of the other thing going in baseball, let's give a congratulations to the A's for winning the series.
Couple of them.
Hey, that's right. They won versus the Braves. And then who did they just beat? That's right. They had a walk-off. Was it the Braves? Who else? Huh?
The Pirates.
The Pirates. That's what it was. Man, that's right. They scored 7 runs in the first inning yesterday. That's right.
Yeah.
Craziness. So, Deech, how you feeling about everything going on in the, other than the White Sox in the baseball world? Do you pay attention to anything else other than White Sox?
Yes. The big thing I've been looking for, which has started to kind of pop up on Twitter, is rumors regarding the trade deadline and which teams appear to be. I mean, and I know the White Sox have been mentioned in articles, but there's some more leak. I mean, Kansas City's going to throw in the towel pretty soon. They're going to unload their bullpen.
Would you go after Scott Barlow, or is that just like a stupid thing to do? I meant to ask you guys that.
I just don't think they need any other relief. That's just not where I would supplement this team right now. This bullpen's been fine. I mean,
I think so too. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder, I mean, because it seems like a White Sox thing to do, like we saw with the stupid Craig Kimbrell bullshit and stuff. So,
well, that's because Rick Hahn loves to put 90% of the assets into the bullpen.
Why?
So
he loves it, man.
Not be going after a reliever. Let someone else sit and overpay for Aroldis Chapman and Scott Barlow. And the big rumor that I've been seeing, which seems to be picking up some traction, is apparently Cleveland may be willing to move Shane Bieber for the right price. And he's starting to get to the point where they're not going to re-sign him, where he's in that kind of range of his contract where he's going to need to be moved because Cleveland doesn't retain their starters once they hit free agency. So
why would you when you just build new ones in labs?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They're able to just like pull pitchers out of their ass.
Where did they come from? Or like I was watching the Rays celebration yesterday, and these guys' last names, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Who's this guy? I'm like, what is going on?
Sub-2 ERA.
Huh?
They all probably have like sub-2 ERAs.
And then like they find these guys that living on the street, and it's crazy to see.
Scouting and development. It's just a foreign language to us as Sox fans.
Why did we grow up as White Sox fans? I feel like that's the question. What did our families do to be like, we're gonna make our children suffer and watch this team every year and every day? Maybe we should start blaming our parents.
I have.
Yeah, me too. I blame my dad. I'm like, Dad, this is your fault.
Yeah, you dragged me into this. You brought me into this world.
is all of it.
And
But the last, or before I forget, because we didn't do it last week and I completely forgot. Let's now do our guarantees and our bold predictions. I don't know. It's completely skipped over my head last week. So, but let's do it this week. And Justin, we'll start with you. What's some bold predictions and some guarantees you got for the upcoming
Yeah, I know.
week?
Well, now this is the first I'm thinking about it. All right. Well, okay. I guarantee that if they lose tonight, they don't win tomorrow night either. That's just a feeling I have. Either they're going to keep rolling, or it's going to or water finds its level kind of deal. Like, all of a sudden now they lost 2 games in 24 hours, and like all the good feeling is gone. And my bold prediction,
You just gotta keep the good vibes, positive vibes only. I always say it. That's it. No negativity.
No negativity. Get there. All right, we're going to the ninth, boys. Bold prediction. I'll say Liam picks up a couple saves between now and when we next meet, and
Yeah,
that could include this game right now. So I'm kind of cheating on that.
I mean, hey, but I mean, it hasn't happened yet, so I mean that still counts.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like next week, we have to, like I said, we'll be previewing Thursday night's game and seeing where we're at after the first 2 and the Marlins series and everything, because they play at 9:00, guys. So it's going to be a late one. We're going to be, but at least with the baseball games going, at least maybe it'll be over before midnight. I remember some of the Dodgers games and Angels games being up till like 1:30 in the morning. Watch, especially the extra inning games. So stressful, especially those in Anaheim. Those suck.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What do you got, Deech, for your bold predictions and your guarantees?
My bold prediction is that they will sweep the Marlins at home and then win 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers.
Hey, I'll take it.
And that
okay.
Guarantee is that Clevenger goes 6 innings and gives up less than 4 runs this evening again in the game 2.
And remember, guys, game 2 will start most likely half an hour, 45 minutes after the end of the last pitch of game 1. So make sure you guys come and hang out, watch this, and then go back and watch the second game. It's like a little preview show for you guys. My bold prediction, my guarantees, I'm going to say a bold prediction. I don't even know if it is a bold prediction, but with him hitting his first home run today, or at least a minute, is this Yoan's first home run of the year?
No, it's third, I think.
Is it? Okay, I didn't think he had too many.
2 before he got hurt, I think.
Yeah, he homered in Houston and he homered in Pittsburgh.
That's right. Okay.
He might have homered twice in Houston. It's his third or his fourth. I think it's his third.
So long ago. It's like, damn. So yeah. I'm going to say Yoan hits a grand slam. I don't know if it's in versus Miami or it's hot in LA. So, that might be our only good thing. And yes, the games obviously start at 7:10, but it's still hot there. And White Sox teams, for some reason, they all love playing in the heat. So should be interesting. So I'm going to say bold prediction that Yoan hits a grand slam. And I'm going to say a guarantee is that we see Mr. Jake Berger have at least 3 more home runs before next Thursday.
Ooh.
I know.
He plays 3 times.
I guess it's being bold, but I mean, hey, all you got to do it tonight, tomorrow, and the next day, and there we go. That's all it takes. And I think you could do it. And, we really didn't talk too much, like we did a little bit, but I want to mention about Berger and everything like that. Like the fact that everything he went through and with the Achilles tearing it twice, him coming back and doing what he's doing, and the fact that I remember meeting him at Sox Fest at like 2019 or whatever it was, and nobody was by him, nobody was this and that, and now it's crazy to see he is the guy that pretty much he's the guy everybody wants to see, and everybody was having a mental breakdown when he wasn't in the lineup on Tuesday. And it's one of those things that's crazy how fast the player can go from being to what, and yeah. And Liam Hendricks being back, the fact that he got the save and the win, was it the save or the win on National Cancer Day? I forget, because he got the win and the save back to back.
He got the win, and then he got the win on National Cancer Survivor Day, and then he got the save the first game in New York.
Okay, that's okay. It was Sunday. Then I thought it was Saturday. So okay, Sunday. That's awesome. It's just seeing him back on the mound and the energy that he had was incredible. And it's just been a good week. It's so far been good here. Let's finish this off. We got 3 more outs to get. Let's get this dub. Let's continue it. Let's get going. But that's all I got for you guys here today. So let's now get into the chat. Let's see what everybody is saying. How's everybody feeling? Let's be nice and let's not make mean comments about the White Sox. Eric, because I know Eric is mean, but Hassan's in the house. What's up, Hassan? Eric's it has been a good week for White Sox baseball. Courtney, we might have to kick you out because she says go Yankees. I'm sorry, Courtney. I love you, but get out of here with your Yankees talk. We got happy 29th birthday to Liv Morgan. Yes, sir. We got what's up, Mick? How you doing? I went to a bowling green. Hey. Cincinnati Reds. If the Cincinnati Reds can take 2 out of 3 versus the Dodgers, hey, maybe the White Sox can. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all we need, right? Just tell me there's a chance.
It's an opportunity.
Hey, that's all we need at this point. Man, I cannot believe how orange it is. Like it's so like the fact this is only 24 hours ago is crazy. But we got Michelle in the house. So Michelle, thanks for coming by. Michelle, I got an email about the stupid t-shirts and they're not coming until the end of June. I hate shipping. Trying to get the t-shirts here ASAP and it just didn't work. So thank you, Michelle, coming and hanging out. And that's all the things that we got here today. But before we do go here, guys, we're speaking of t-shirts and merchandise, Tino's Time merchandise and Southside Boys merchandise coming in July. So make sure you guys get ready as we got a t-shirt. We got sweatshirts. You guys are going to be able to get different colors. We're going to have different designs, everything in between. But those are the first 2 we're starting with. So make sure you guys get your merchandise in July. Start wearing it at the game. Deech, I'm buying you a sweatshirt and a shirt. And you're going to get yourself a hat. You're going to have to be all Southside Boys up every game. You're going to have to get some business cards, too. Make sure you start handing them out at the tailgate, bro. Just walk around. I'll
just start throwing beers that I've relabeled to say the Southside Boys. I'm tailgating.
Yes, I love it. Hey, whatever way we get the exposure. So, but guys, that's all that we got here today. It's a shorter episode. I feel like, but it was a good week. It's, there's not too much bad to talk about, too much, it's been good. So let's just keep it going. Well, let's see. We got anything? Yeah, the Cincinnati Reds were walk-offs. You're right. So obviously it will be different because we're going to LA. So it should be interesting to see how it plays out. But going against the Dodgers shall be very interesting because, yeah. So, and then let's see anything else we got. No, I got no more chats, guys. So that's all we got. But we're not done here today on Tino's Time, guys, because we come back here at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time as Tino is taking on Buzzing with Marlowe in a 1-hour Iron Man match. Come and hang out as we go live on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter as we play WWE 2K23. Remember to go follow all the social medias on Tino's Time Wrestling, Southside Boys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media, guys. Remember to make sure to go hit that like button, subscribe as we're on the road to 2K. Make sure you guys go check out all the memberships. We got memberships, membership-only live streams coming, pay-per-views, Southside Boys episodes, everything else. So make sure you guys check those out and become a member. And finally, turn that notification button on so you know when we come back here at 8 o'clock to play some WWE 2K23. But, guys, that's all we got here for you today for the Southside Boys. So have a good Thursday evening, and I'll see you guys back here in a few hours. But we'll see Justin and Deech next week back here on the Southside Boys.